I know that relationships are really fundamental to what we do in education, but I also don't like the idea. Like some people kind of talk about them like that's the end goal of education. I'm like, no, that's the foundational, to like build rapport, to really trust people when you're trying new things. But y'all are doing some really incredible stuff, and that's why I asked you on. And so there's this process, and correct me, the language if I'm using it wrong. You're doing the schools of process that you are starting next year, and I got a little taste of it when you're all in Forney, Texas, at the OC with Dr. Justin Terry and the team there. Can you tell us what that is? Because I just thought it was really fascinating, and I wanted to have you on the podcast specifically because I'm hoping people will see this and they're like, we got to do this. And so, can you tell us a little bit about that process in your schools?
Yeah, definitely. So it's our schools of study that we're introducing to our current 10th graders. We are IB school, an international baccalaureate school. So we already have different pathways for our students. So we have students that are engaging in the International Baccalaureate Career Pathway program. So we have education, business, STEM, fine arts. And so they can engage in those career pathways. We have kids that are going half day to vocational training programs. And we have kids that are engaging in a whole bunch of internships.
Mhm.
And they may go and work with dentists. They may go to our elementary schools to learn how to become teachers. They may work with lawyers. So we do have some students that are engaging in career exploration, but it was only probably about 25% of our kids.
Mhm.
So we're thinking, okay, how do we engage now 100% of our students that are in 11th and 12th grade? And that's where we came up with the idea of creating these schools of study. So right now what we're doing is our 10th graders are engaging in interest inventories, personality inventories, and ultimately career interest inventories to really start thinking of what are their personality traits, what are their interests, and what are possibly career paths that they may be interested in. And then in May, they're going to pick one of our 8 schools of study. I don't know if I can name all of them off the top of
Right.
my head, but some of them are business, law, engineering, education, vocational technical skills, um,
Finance.
liberal studies, oh, finances and business.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So those 8 schools, our students are going to choose.
Yeah.
And then in 11th grade next year, will be experiences for them. So they don't have to engage in coursework that are tied to their schools of. Chances are they're going to, right? So if they are in the School of Law, they may choose to take one of our law courses. So they may be in citizen law, they may be in constitutional law, but we have a very vast course catalog. So some of our kids may want to take music or they want to take art. So they may not be able to fit it in their schedule.
Right.
But what we will do is we will have programming throughout the year. So we will bring in people in the field of law, paralegals, legal secretaries, judges, lawyers, people who work in the court system. We will bring in alumni that are currently in programs or in the career field. We will bring in college admissions counselors. We will bring in people that are probably in graduate school and graduate counselors. We talked about for vocational and technical training, unions, right?
Yeah.
For them to learn about that. So again, it's reinforcing for them what they will need, skills they will need for those careers in the future.